Hi guys, welcome to my podcast Dara Day. So I will be talking about anime related topic in a like big setting and in a casual yet in a fun way. Okay, but I'm not alone in here because I have my friend. Hello Bitya.
Hi, my name is Bitya.
Okay, Bitya, you may want to maybe introduce yourself. So because I know Bitya is one of my friends that watch anime and she's in a fandom too. Maybe you want to like uh tell us your favorite anime or maybe an anime you are currently watching too.
Okay, hi, my name is Bitya, and I'm I have been an anime fan since the end of 2019, but I've been in a fandom since like when I'm in early uh like in 12, like a sixth grade. I've been in a
Wow.
fandom since then. Yeah, actually. And my favorite anime, I have the top three. I have Bleach as my first, and then the second one is probably is Mashal. It's a
Oh,
comedic one.
yeah.
And probably the last one is more like romance and slice of life, but there are supernatural too. It's Fruit Basket. Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
all right, Bleach. I've watched that. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good anime. It has
Yeah,
a very plot twisting kind of things like that.
Aizen. All right. So I will first explain what anime is. Maybe some of uh, my friends who watch this podcast do not know what anime is. So anime is the shorter words for animation, and in this context, it refers to the Japanese animations. And actually, anime has many types and genre, but the common genres are the shoujo and shonen. So this type classified by the demographic of the watchers. So while shonen is focused on the male audience, shoujo is focused on the female audience. For example, of the anime in this type for shonen is uh, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Kimetsu no Yaiba. These are the popular ones. And for the shoujo, there are Kimi no Todoke or From Me to You in the English version. And there's also Blue Spring Ride and Natsume's Book of Friends. Alright, so from uh, this from this explanation alone, we know what we are going to talk about. So we are going to talk about uh, mainly about the anime fans or someone in the fandom. So, for example, if someone likes the anime Attack on Titan, they maybe join the fandom and they interact with a group of people that share the same interests with them. I have picked some phenomenon. Uh, I think it's rather questionable, but if you're in the fandom, I think you guys already know this one. So these are four phenomenons that I've seen in the animes fandom. The first two phenomenons is like the common one, and I think it's popular. It is they are marrying and celebrating the two-dimension character's birthday. So I've seen this a lot on in TikTok and Twitter that someone is marrying a two-dimension characters. I think it's for fun and also celebrating the two-dimension characters. I've seen a lot of people do it because I also ever done it before. Um, and for the next two topics, it's rather more questionable than the previous two topics. So it is about defending two-dimension character over real people. So it is when someone in the fandom they are defending maybe their favorite characters or their ship, and like for example, I have to put example in here. Uh, there is someone like throwing slur words to another person that has like different ship as them, so they're defending their character and harassing that person, the real person. And lastly is it is kind of sensitive topic. It is about pro shipper fans. So if you don't know, pro shipper fans is fans who ships problematic ships. Like, I'm sorry, but this is the reality because some of them actually do that. They ship like incest ships, and ships that has like so much age gap. Like for example, the male character is like 30 or 40 in age, while the female character is still minor in like 16 in age. Uh, yeah. So we are going to discuss in depth about the morals and the what kind of things that drive them to be like that. And I think I want to ask Bitya first. Bitya, do you ever encounter like these phenomenons in your fandom days?
Okay, so yes, I've encountered many of them. Especially like what you're talking earlier, when it's like the characters with age gaps or maybe incest. That there's so many that kind of things happens in a fandom, especially in an anime fandom, because it's a fandom where it's a fictional character, right? So
Yeah.
people have the excuse to ship those characters just because it's fiction, it's not real. I think I've encountered them a lot. It's kind of annoying, honestly.
All right. Okay. I think we can start with the interview. Okay. So we've seen these phenomenons, and you also mentioned about the shipping. And first, I want to ask about maybe about the marrying and celebrating to the characters first from the light-hearted one. Okay, what do you think drives people to form such deep emotional attachments to two-dimension characters?
Okay, so I think there are a few things that drives people to be emotionally attached, or we can say that,
Yeah.
to the characters or fictional characters. So first of it is probably because um, 2D characters or fictional characters is carefully written by the author to highlight emotional clarity. So their motivations, their pain, their character development are usually visible and also meaningful. So it makes it easier for the audience to empathize with them. unlike real people, they rarely send like mixed signals, probably like that, right? Yeah, real people do that. Well, fictional characters doesn't do mixed signals. It's real people doing. All right. Also, these characters, these fictional characters, also offer like um, emotional safety for them. So they cannot reject or maybe abandon or judge the viewers. So that's why for people who have experienced like disappointment or maybe loneliness, like instability in real relationships in the real life, probably fictional characters feels more comforting, feels more safe because it creates a space where emotions can exist without a risk. And also there are fictional characters that give ideals and also desires like strength, kindness, loyalty, resilience, or maybe truly seen. Like when someone recognizes parts of themselves or maybe who they wish to be in a character, that bond between the viewer and also the character, it becomes stronger, it deepens. So it's not just an affection for the character, it's identification, like that person is so me, like that.
That's very great answers because I also have like my comfort characters. But you know, there's a saying that you have a comfort characters where your characters doesn't have any comfort in their life.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's very actually it's very sad, but like
Yeah, right. My comfort character is that.
same here, same.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Do you think these behaviors, as mentioned before, are forms of self expression, like marrying and celebrating to the characters, or are they already crossed the line between the border of fiction and reality? Because this has been like in a discourse for years, maybe. Because I've seen that a lot.
Okay, so I think most of those behaviors like are probably better understood as a form of self-expression,
Oh.
not really like a loss of touch with reality. As long there's a condition with that, as long as the person understands the boundaries in it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
for many people, expressing attachment to fictional characters is a way to see or to adapt or to develop their emotions that they may not feel safe expressing anywhere. Like probably talking about a character, creating frameworks or maybe role playing, imagining scenarios can be the output of affection, comfort, identity, or even unresolved feelings. So in that sense, fiction becomes a language for the self, not an escape for reality. But the line is also crossed when the attachment replaces real world functioning, then just coexisting with it. So it has to coexist, but the line will be crossed when it replaces the function of real world. So if someone genuinely believes the character exists in the real world and prioritize them over like real connection with um, real people, that leads to the harm of these things. So, or maybe uses like fiction to avoid all real interaction and responsibility. Actually, we've all doing that, but like sometimes there are people that use it out of the boundaries. I think.
So maybe one of the example is like unhealthy obsessions. Yeah.
The example of unhealthy obsession.
Yeah, maybe we can say it is like that, like you mentioned, when they cross the boundary itself, like avoiding responsibilities.
Okay, so first of all, maybe they ignore their assignments. That's a really simple thing. When I've actually talked about comfort media earlier. So when you use this comfort media or maybe comfort characters, we can say, uh, to ignore your responsibility to procrastinate, right?
Mm,
It's actually harming not for just yourself but also for other people. I think that's a very simple example of this.
yes. So, for the last question in this part or in this section, so we live in a fast world. We are on the phone almost every day, and we have social media to interact with people. And do you think that social media help them in forming this behavior, and how?
Okay, so yes, of course, social media will have a very important role, a very uh, significant. That's the word. Significant role in shaping and also developing, strengthening these behaviors, mostly by amplify something that already exists rather than creating it from nothing. So first of all, social media is isolation. So like people who feel deeply attached to fictional characters can now easily find others who feel the same way, right? Like seeing shared emotions or maybe like headcanon edits and passions, like or maybe theories, like conspiracy theories, it validates their feelings and makes them feel like, oh, I'm still normal, right? Rather than
Hmm.
feeling strange or feeling lonely. And then social media also has algorithms that repeated interactions with the same characters or maybe like clips, fan art, quotes,
Yes.
theories. It keeps the characters coming. Like for example, in TikTok, when you like or maybe reposted an edit of this character, that character will of the edits of that character will also will show up again,
Oh,
like 5 minutes later or maybe one scroll later, right?
yes.
Uh, and also, social media, I think it blurs the emotional intensity, not the reality. So while it doesn't usually make people believe the characters are real, it can deepen the emotional bond with the fictional character feels like socially alive and ongoing. So the conversations will never really end there in the social media. Uh, well, the conversation never ends. The emotional loop also doesn't end. I think that's it.
All right. So we've talked about the very first two topic about marrying and celebrating to the characters, and I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about this more questionable phenomenon. It is about defending to the characters and the worshippers fans behavior. All right. So defending characters over real people often happen, especially uh, one of the main trigger could be also from pro shipping, because maybe there has been like class from pro shipping and the non pro shipping, and they will be like defending that ships. or maybe the character itself. So it often sparks their courses in the anime community, especially if they are defending the pixelated characters over real people and harassing the real people itself. Do you think this one is morally correct?
I think it's actually if they feel safe with it, right? Like defending fictional characters or maybe their ships. There's so many, yeah. There's so many ships in the internet, multi-shippers. I'm a multi-shippers myself, so I think it's not inherently immoral
Hmm.
because fiction gives you space for interpretation, like projection, or maybe emotional investment. And arguing about narratives, motivation, or maybe themes is actually a normal part of media engagement because people often defend these characters because they see parts of themselves in them. Or maybe the character
Mm.
represents their ideas like traumas, or maybe justice, or maybe misunderstood behavior. Like maybe they defend the character because the other people see that character as something that is not correct for them. Like, oh, you misunderstood their character. Their character is not like that. We can take example of from one of my favorite anime character. It's Bakugo Katsuki from MHA. People see him as someone who is brash, who is loud, only like that, who is a bully, he's evil. He could be in the villain side if yeah, people see him as that. But what I see of him is a person who is raised with so much so much good in his life that he doesn't even have a backstory. His backstory is just him being there, him living his life with his amazing powers that and that shapes his personality. So what I mean is this: the defending of the fictional character is about protecting the meaning, not really protecting the pixels like that. I think that's it. Oh, okay. So it also become morally questionable if the defense harms real people. For example,
Mm.
like if someone harass or maybe doxing or maybe dehumanize other people because of a ship or maybe a character, there are someone doing that. There are people on the internet doing that. They're doxing or something like that because of the other people didn't really ship what they ship like that, or maybe dismiss the real victims in real world harm by saying like it's just fiction, like the case of the age gap and the incest earlier. Uh, or maybe the uses fictional justification to normalize or excuse abusive behavior in reality. Like, let me give you another example of a character from MHA again. It's one of my favorite anime, so it's my recent one. There is a character named Endeavor or Enji Todoroki.
Oh.
He's an abusive father, an abusive husband, and some people on the internet just say, "Well, it's just fiction. He does. It's just fiction," and excuse his actions to the other characters in the in the world, in the fictional world, in the like that. So um, in that case, the morals the boundaries has been crossed. So like also pro shipping itself is often misunderstood. Like it's usually argues about fictional exploration. Fictional exploration is not an endorsement. So that people should be allowed to engage with the dark, unhealthy, taboo dynamics in fiction without being accused of supporting them in their life. For me myself, I read so many fan fictions. We can see from there are so many incentives or maybe age gaps that just made for people who probably engage themselves in that
Yeah.
way. I don't really know how it works, but like because of that fake out there are there are some fights arguments on the internet because of that, especially in a science fiction website that has been built since years ago. Uh, yeah, so I think it's ethical if we only enjoy the fiction but not really uh, develop it into the real life. So you have to put a line between reality and fiction.
Mm.
While you cannot do that in real life, you can enjoy it in fiction if you really like it. I guess I don't really like it actually.
All right. I think your example in here already answered the next question. It is about how do you think the pro shippers not going to normalize taboo relationships in real life? Or maybe you want to add something?
Okay, so are pro shippers morally correct? Okay, so as I said before, it's a space of exploration.
Oh.
So, uh, like the position is still defensible. I can defend it if it's okay. So morality actually becomes questionable when it becomes to pro shipping. We all know that, right? Because pro ship pro shipping shifts from defending fictional freedom to dismissing the real world harm. So if someone uses pro shipping to rhetorically to invalidate survivors, for example, like sexual abuse or something like that,
Mm.
and maybe mock the discomfort just saying it's fiction, or maybe claim moral superiority, like the stance that stance itself isn't the problem. The problem there is the lack of empathy. Um, will pro shipping normalize taboo relationships in real life? I don't really think so. If they have this,
Yeah.
if they have minds, they can think logically. No, they will not normalize the taboo relationship in their life. While they enjoy it in fiction, they if they have this, they wouldn't normalize it in their life. That's actually controversial, but yeah, sure.
Hmm. Okay, we're nearing the end of the interview. Let me conclude what you have answered. So, there are many reasons that drive people to form such an emotional attachment to two-dimension characters, like because they are giving that person a comfort, because that two-dimension character, do not judge them and giving them mixed signal. They have the kindness and they're not only giving affection to them, and we have to know that these behaviors, like mentioned before, in this phenomenon, like marrying to the characters or celebrating their birthdays, and that person emotion itself or feelings could be understood as self-expression and not crossing the border between the of fiction and reality. Um, because there's one condition that person has to set a boundary if they're not want to cross the line. If it already crossed the line, it could be harming to our real life. Like we may avoid our real life interactions and prioritizing fiction over our real world responsibilities. And yes, social media also has significant roles in shaping and strengthening these behaviors, like from the algorithm and it could be also blurs the emotional intensity because there is the emotional loop in it. And also for the topic of defending 2D characters over real people and the pro shipper fans, they're defending 2D characters is not really morally incorrect because a person maybe want to defend their comfort characters because they see themselves in them, and it is not morally incorrect if they are do not overact it, like doxing people and harassing people, like from the example I've mentioned before, throwing head words or slur words to another person. And yeah, people in the anime fandom also can draw a line between the fiction and reality. Like for the pro shipper fans, they can set a line so they do not normalize the taboo relationships in real life. So yeah, they have to think logically, so it is not cross the line between border and reality. All right. For the last question is about do you have any advices for anime fans out there to enjoy anime in a healthy way?
Okay. Of course I do. I do have some advice for some fans out there. So it's okay if you feel deeply or maybe obsessed or maybe attached to a fictional character. Just keep a clear internal understanding that characters and narrative are fiction. You cannot uh, combine it with real life. There's a line, put a line between fiction and reality. Also, you have to uh, think deeply, use critical thinking,
Yeah.
right? Like you see this character, you obsess over them. Like maybe they have great motivation, great trauma or something. But if their actions harm other people, you don't have to excuse the it's because of his trauma. Of course, we can talk about their trauma, but like
Yeah.
yeah, the action still harms people. So also it's okay to not make a fandom your own identity. You have your
Oh,
own
yes.
identity. That and choose connection with people and not winning arguments.
Oh. Yes.
get the take opinions from people.
Maybe,
That they
maybe in conclusion, touch some grass.
yes.
All right. Maybe let's have some time to take a picture for a thumbnail. Will you? Okay.
Of course, I
Okay. Let's take a picture. Okay.
one,
One,
two.
two, three. I will screenshot this later. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Bitya, for having me. We have to reschedule from our original plan, but I'm so thankful you have time to be the guest for my podcast. Thank you so much, Bitya, for the amazing answers and advices. I hope anime enjoyers out there can gain some interesting knowledge from this podcast too. And yeah, happy holiday, maybe.
Early holiday.
Early holiday. All right. Thank you so much. Bye. See you in the next time,
Thank you for having me.
Ditya.